It's time for the Wisp Turlington Morning Show.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce.
Hey, this is Ray Manzarek from The Doors.
This is Adam from Maroon 5.
Hey, this is Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
Hello, this is Angus Young and
Brian Johnson of AC/DC.
Wisp Turlington.
Hi, rockers. This is Billy Idol.
Hi, this is David Bowie.
Hey, this is Nick Rhodes.
And this is Simon Le Bon of Duran Duran.
I'm Mick Jones of Foreigner.
Wisp Turlington.
Hey, this is John Bon Jovi. Hi, this is Steve Perry of Journey.
I'm Steve Walsh of Kansas.
Hi, this is Paul McCartney.
Hello, this is Brian May of Queen.
Steve Miller here.
What's up, y'all? This is Alicia Keys, and this right here is
The Wisp Turlington Morning Show with Wisp Turlington and Greg the Howling Ghost McCafferty.
Really hurt.
With Wisp Turlington.
Why can't I have a little drink to unwind myself?
Weather, news.
You know, a lot of people go to college for 7 years.
I know. They're called doctors.
Traffic from Art's Part.
I used to call it stroking the salami. Yeah, pounding the old butt.
And Greg the Howling Ghost McCafferty.
I'll eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
And here they are, Wisp Turlington and Greg the Howling Ghost McCafferty. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Wisp Turlington here on the Wisp Turlington Morning Show. It's a great morning in Valverde, 7:05.
Wisp.
You're waking up. You're turning
Wisp.
on the radio.
Wisp.
Who is that? Who is this?
I thought we made such headway last time. Jeff, the Angry Man Garlock.
Oh, Jeff the Angry Man Garlock. Hey, Scotty, we were supposed to change that out, right?
Shaking his head no.
He's shaking his head no, so he's the authority.
Did you lie to me, or did he really not do it?
Well, when did I say something to you that would have been a lie? Because I just don't remember. I never said we were going to change it. But I do remember last time I tried very hard to remember your name, Greg, and I am going to continue to work on it. Here.
Yes, continue. I guess it is true. If you don't remember something, that isn't legally a lie.
I mean, truly, it's not my fault.
But I mean, I will say with that promo, it did really hurt, and I think I might need a drink after this.
Feelings are hurt.
Yes, but I will say, shocked you got Ray Manzarek in there, and he didn't mention Jim once.
I know, just to say his name. That's kind of a shock. Greg, you do have a great point there.
Jeff.
When we were cutting that, he was in the studio. He said, "I'm Jim Morrison," and we said, Ray, who are you? And he then proceeded to tell us a story for 45 minutes about, of course, Jim Morrison. Boring.
That's the Ray Manzarek. Just boring long songs about the poet laureate known as Jim the Lizard King Morrison.
Has there ever been a more boring lead singer of a band? Let's do the list.
Book.
Top 5 boring classic rock lead singers.
Number 1 with a bullet, Jim the Lizard King Morrison.
Oh my God. If I have to hear the Crystal Ship one more time. Because here's the thing.
Is sailing me out of your fucking concert there.
Here's the thing, Jim. If they made a ship out of fucking crystals, that fucker is... Hold on. Yeah, you better fire off that delay. I didn't mean to... We are getting right into this, but all I'm trying to say is a ship made out of crystals, gonna sink, would have killed Jim a lot earlier than he died, but Jim Morrison isn't dead.
No, he's alive and well. He
was in Wayne's World. That was Jim Morrison.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Nobody else seemed to notice. Everyone thought that it was a character actor playing a fun impression, but no, that was Jim.
Not.
And Ray told you about it. I mean,
Jesus!
Next time you see Ray, he's going to be talking about Wayne's World.
Oh God!
It's like, they were going to use the end instead of Bohemian Rhapsody at one point. It's just like, I don't buy it. All right, man.
There were a lot of songs. Lauren was like, I've known Lauren for a long, long, long time.
Got to say, this one doesn't surprise me.
Oh, yeah.
You're a bit of a monster, and it seems like you would be friends with him.
He's a monster. And he said, I've got this new movie coming out, and it's going to be called Wayne's World. And I'm like, like that show. And he's like, the show that I do, and I'm doing a perfect Lauren, by the way.
This is what I was. I'm
Lauren
flummoxed.
in the room?
It's the first time that someone doing the impression should be asking, is Lauren in the room? Because I was about to jump in and tell you, pitch perfect. A lot of people think they've got a Lauren in their back pocket, but I got to give you a compliment when a compliment is due, Wisp. That was dead on Michaels.
So he says to me, he says, Mike Myers has a sketch called Wayne's World, and we're going to do a movie about it. And I'm like, okay, well, he's like, we're thinking about, there's a scene where Mike wants Bohemian Rhapsody, but I want the end. I'm like, well, I mean, there's only one real choice there. You got to go Bohemian Rhapsody, one of the greatest bands in the world, Queen. Everybody knows that. I may still have my beef with bassist John Deacon based on what happened at the Freddie Mercury tribute concert. You can hear more about that in the Wis Turlington autobiography, Through the Years, Through the Tears. But just a teaser on that, the man plays a mean game of peekaboo, and he will not let it go. Almost completely. Freddie Mercury passes away. One of my best friends in the world. We have a tribute concert for Freddie Mercury, and here's John Deacon just wanting to fucking play peekaboo. Now, his idea of peekaboo, a lot different than your idea. Greg, what do you think peekaboo is?
Putting up hands over eyes and then peekaboo.
No,
that's not Deacon style?
Deacon style peekaboo it's basically hide and seek, but when you see the person coming to find you, you pop out violently. Just all like fists and kicks, and you scream peekaboo. And then it's a lot like that scene in Full Metal Jacket where they hold that guy down and they put soap in it and then they just bang him over and over.
The shit out of him.
And I almost turned into that, like that one scene where, he just went crazy in the bathroom. That was almost me at the Freddie Mercury tribute concert. But Tony Iommi, good man, talked me out of it.
I mean, and thank goodness, but I mean, Deacon, a silent killer. That man doesn't say a word for 30 to 40 years unless he's playing Deacon-style peekaboo. Taking you down like the Jackets.
Oh, my God.
Is terrible.
But long story short, Lauren was fucking wrong, and Bohemian Rhapsody was a #1 hit again in 1992.
That is the Lorne Michaels story. Always wrong.
Always wrong. Hey, let's go ahead and head on over to traffic. 108.9 The Hawk traffic with Art Spart.
Well, looks like we got a real humdinger of a wreck happening on 455, and I say humdinger mainly because 8 buses carrying a cappella groups for this weekend's a cappella off at the Valverde Verdi Dome crashed into each other. Now, it doesn't seem to be dire injuries, but those injured are actually harmonizing their moans and groans with each other. So it is a truly horrific sound. So if you hate that kind of thing like I do, you might want to veer off onto No Second Chances Road and then take a right onto Forrest Gump Jr. Lane. From there, you should be clear to Hogg Street. But if not, try the John Deacon underpass. A lot of John Deacon talk. Glad we can talk about the underpass. Other than that, everything is looking clear. I'm Art Spart with traffic on 108.9 The Hawk.
Wow.
That is a humdinger of a humdinger crash. I almost want to go down there because I hate acapella. Oh, man, I tell you, you get the humdingers and you get the whiffin' poofs from Yale in one room.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy, I hope they pull a Deacon-style peekaboo on all of them, if you know what I mean.
It's weather. It's time for weather on 108.9 The Hawk. Greg, well, you know what it is.
Yeah, Jeff, and it is colder than I thought it would be. Like, not just as cold as it was. Take that, times it by 100. Hogg Street is wild down there.
Hogg Street might as well be a slip and slide. It might as well be. It's like that TV show that they were going to do, The Ultimate Slip and Slide. But then it turned out that it was all diarrhea.
Yeah, that was a fun show, though.
That was on NBC. That was a fun show. If that would have been on True TV, they just would have added diarrhea to the name.
Yep, get those jokers in there,
and they would have run it for 8 seasons.
8 seasons of diarrhea and jokers.
The impractical jokers. Who are the practical jokers?
That's what I'd like to know.
That's what I'd like to know, too.
You know, if that show was running on Netflix, it would be called Is It Diarrhea? Right? Maybe that's something we could pitch to Lauren, though. God. Seems like one of those skits they do on SNL, right?
I don't know I don't think that man's ever had diarrhea.
That's a little known showbiz fact. Lorne Michaels never had diarrhea, and he eats a lot of Italian with
Eats
Paul
a lot
Simon.
of Italian. He eats so much. When you're at a Yankees game and he's down there just scarfing down all those hot dogs. Hot dogs and crab legs. I went to one Yankees game with Lauren, and he's like, "You got to put the crab leg on the hot dog," and I'm like, "Oh, that is disgusting."
You know what the secret is?
What's
popcorn. That's why you always got to have that big old bowl of popcorn because it binds you up. It keeps that diarrhea from flowing. Lauren has got the secret. People, everyone, get out there and eat more popcorn if you want to stop diarrhea.
You got to bind that diarrhea, and that's something Paul Simon was also saying. He was sitting with us. Man, the man talked about diarrhea for longer than I ever want to hear anyone talk about diarrhea. And
I tell you, though, I'd like to hear Ladysmith Black Mambazo harmonize some tunes about diarrhea.
God, that would be Graceland 2, diarrhea.
Diarrhea slide.
I love a good album about a diarrhea slide.
Oh,
we're gonna get Paul. We're gonna get Paul on the horn. See if he can talk to us a little bit about that. But first, my friend Jeff.
You got it. Almost. Come on, keep it going.
The disgusted.
No, I am more than disgusted.
Garlock.
Okay, well, you're 2/3 there, even better than the last time. We're getting there.
We've got a guest hanging out with us in the studio this morning, 708 on 108.9 The Hawk. I'd like to welcome into the Hawk's Nest the one and only John Robert Sass. He's everybody's favorite music critic. He's the current music critic at AOL.com, which is kind of a shock. Still doing everything over there. John, is it John or John Robert?
It's John Robert. Good morning, Wisp. Good morning, Greg. It's nice to be here.
Don't right away. God. Wisp, you see what you've done to me here.
Here we go. We are having a time.
Sorry, what was your name there?
Jeff the Angry Man Garlock. Been doing this show much longer than Wisp.
So
but just go. Sorry about
my
that.
publicist Tina told me I was on with Wisp and Greg. I'm doing a bunch of interviews this morning, publicizing my book, and Tina told me this is with him. But if it's Jeff, let me make a note of that. Jeff.
Yeah. Just mark that down.
Jeff.
You know what? I should probably do that too. Where's a pen? Scotty, are there any pens in here? Well, he's shaking his head no. So that is a big old no. No pens in here. Whew. Okay. Well, John Robert Sass, wonderful to have you on here. You've written a lot of my favorite books on rock and roll. I don't think Greg here is as familiar with your work. What are your favorite books that you've written, John Robert?
Well, yeah. So to start off, I have a new book out right now. It's my fourth book. It's titled "They Have Become." It's an oral history of the song "Cumbersome" by 7M3. 7M3. Most people refer to them as 7M3. You know, this has been a passion project for me. I've been working on it for 15 years. But before that, I had a few books. I had a song called Sex and Candy and Great Songs, which is the story of Marcy Playground.
Yes, it is.
And before that, I wrote The Legend of the Flagpole Sitta, which is about this amazing band called Harvey Danger.
Harvey Danger, I do remember them.
My first book, which really got me started, was Counting Blue Hit Songs, The Dishwalla Story. And
oh, my God.
These are books, I focus, I write for AOL.com/music and /post-grunge, which is the area that I cover is post-grunge, which I believe to be the best and most superior genre of music.
But what about, so you don't like any grunge?
I'm not familiar with it. It's not that I don't like it. I think my listening and sort of where my expertise lies is music that comes in the years of 1995 to 1998.
Okay, so what were you doing from, let's say, 91 to 95? What were you listening to then?
Well, I was nothing. I was listening to absolutely nothing.
Literally nothing.
I love that. I love a good expert who really just focuses on just one thing. Like, niche it up. You know what I'm saying? And there is no history in music, is what you're theorizing, which is fantastic.
Yeah, in the year 1995, sort of I had this condition where I would really sort of tune out any and all music. But around June of 95, I walked into a Starbucks and they were playing a song by a band called Collective Soul. December was the song. And that was the first song that really caught my ear. And I became a Collective Soul expert, I would say. I wrote a manuscript about the song December by Collective Soul. It was rejected. But then, of course, my next book about Dishwalla was published.
You know, if I was going to write a book about Collective Soul, it would be called
Yeah. Listen. That's one of the most iconic years in all of music. And
I mean, every day I wake up and go, yeah. I mean, it's
you wake up and you're like, you are thankful to the gods above, the rock gods above, that you get another day to breathe, and you open your mouth immediately and you go,
yeah. And I just want to cover my butt too, because if it's the first day of the month, you know, and you want your first word to be yeah. Rabbit, I think it's a collective soul mythos there
Did
that
you
I read
know this?
about in the book. I don't know if you know that manuscript is on the dark web.
It is on the dark web.
It's circulating. Listen, I wrote 400 pages on the yeah sound, and it's something that, you know, I can postulate a lot about and speak to.
Yeah.
Here's a real fact.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like if somebody says yeah, the other people just have to come right behind, no matter when. That's how it goes.
Rules are rules.
It's excitement. If there's one thing we've always said on 108.9 The Hawk, rules are rules.
I mean, classic rock is based on rules. We can't reiterate it enough.
Rules. Does anybody remember laughter? But the thing I want to point out, this is a real fact about Collective Soul. You're probably going to think I'm making it up. I'm not making it up. You're going to say, Wisp, are you making up that fact? And I'm going to say I'm not making up that fact. But the real fact is, whenever Collective Soul has a band meeting, they do it at a Alpharetta, Georgia macaroni grill. And they go in, they get a table, they get like a big old, and that, if you may remember, probably, what was it, 2008, 2007, Macaroni Grill had the dishes in the United States with the most calories. That is until Sharnies introduced the big Sharnie. Yeah. And that took over.
Too big.
It's too big.
Too big.
So the size already brings up that caloric count.
Yeah.
And am I saying that correctly? Is it caloric?
You are, and this is all in my manuscript. The one that Greg was saying is on the dark web.
Me then,
Jeff.
It's all in the book. Those calories are what propelled Collective Soul to the top of the charts. And this is, something that I have written so much about. You can find it on the dark web. You can read my writing at AOL.com/music/post-grunge.
It is the craziest part, because I didn't know that the collected members of Collective Soul were also competitive eaters. Like that they were just constantly bringing up their caloric intake in order to really have the energy to
It's how it's done.
That is how it's done.
That is how it's done.
They've won multiple Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contests. They're a competitive band, both in music and in eating.
They what they do is they use the same sort of structure from to where it's almost like you got the hot dog in your hand, and it's like slurp. And it goes right down the Collective Soul gullet.
When you're watching a Nathan's hot dog eating contest, you're constantly sitting there wondering,
watching those.
Oh, I could do it. I go on to Pluto TV. They've got the Nathan's channel.
Oh, the
24
Nathan's
hours
channel
a day,
Pluto.
just nothing but Kobayashi, just eating that. And I love when you're watching them eat, it's like you can see their throats open, sucking down the whole thing. Yes.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm a respected rock critic, and my time is valuable. My publicist Tina at Random House hooked me up with you guys to talk about my book about Seven Mary 3. I'm not familiar with the morning radio format, but this is starting to feel like a waste of time, and I wish we could focus and not talk about...
No, I get it.
I have an MFA in rock criticism. I take my job seriously.
Right.
I'm 44 and a half years old. I live in Boise, Idaho, and I lived in Williamsburg for 3 months. And I need to be taken seriously here. And
that's true.
I'm sorry. I just need to.
No. You're
John
right. I shouldn't have been distracted talking about how when you say your throat opens up enough to suck down a whole hot dog. But because there is something there's two things we always say on this. Rock and roll has rules. Must follow them. And critics are gods. That is who we need to pay attention to.
Gods. And so when we said I took a big old sip of my coffee. It went down better than anything has ever gone down before. So they're onto something. So we're going to take a quick break here. John Robert, we're not wasting your time. We're going to come back to you. I want to hear all about this Seven Mary 3.
Let's talk about the book, you guys.
We're going to talk about the book.
Sorry, we're not going to waste your time anymore.
We pay some bills. And since we're talking Seven Mary 3, let's do it. The song that changed the world, changed everything for everyone. Of course, my God, I have become for some. On 108.3 The Hawk. Whoa, shit. Hold on, Scotty, roll that back. I said the wrong number. Fuck. Roll that back. 20
and
second
also
delay.
throw out that delay there, please.
Oh, God, let's do this again. I'm flustered. Yeah. I am flustered. Because you're right. Critics are gods, and I don't want to look like... I have been in this business for so long, I never want to look like an asshole in front of a critic.
I've never seen Wisp shaking in his boots like this as in front of you. My God.
So let's do this again. So, and so I don't want to waste your time, John Robert, and we're going to get to that great book, and let's hear the song that started it all off. I have become... Come. Bersam. On 108.9, The Hawk.
Do you like fun? Do you like mirth, magic, and mischief? And do you like props from serious film? Then come on down to Shuckle McGillicuddy's Props and Magic Store down on Hog Street. We have all the craziest magic tricks, costumes, and funny goofs on sale.
We also are a serious vendor of beautiful film props from some of the most haunting films to ever grace the cinema.
Big wacky mustaches, yeah, we got them. Fart machines, fart bombs, fart bags, yeah, we got them. Giant novelty official looking badges to goof on all your friends, ooh, we got them. But also...
a pair of Bjork's glasses from Dancer in the Dark. We have them. A sweater worn by Meryl Streep in Sophie's Choice. Of course we have that. A half-drunk liquor bottle from Leaving Las Vegas. Yes, yes, yes. These props are nothing to joke about, much like these capturing of human emotions and frailty onto celluloid shan't be joked about. Speaking of jokes...
whoopee cushions in all shapes and sizes. Fun is what we sell.
We also have an actual hypodermic needle from the film Requiem for a Dream, not to mention an entire aisle devoted to the Passion of the Christ. There's nothing fun about that.
But the rest of our store is fun at Shuckle McGillicuddy's Props and Magic Store. Come for the wacky costumes.
And stay for a replica prison from Midnight Express.
Oh, Billy!
Hi, I'm Jason Gore, and I still want to be your mayor. Okay, so I'm running against a mutant hawk. Well, hell, I used to host a radio show with a half-mutant hawk, so I know what I'm up against. And I'm not afraid one bit. I want to make a Valverde that we can all be proud of. I want to be able to be on a nice cruise somewhere, hopefully without a single hair metal band on board. God, it's going to be really weird getting on a boat again. But when someone on that very safe and unrelated to music cruise asks me, hey, where are you from? I want to be proud enough to say, I'm from Valverde, goddammit. Now point me in the direction of the pizza bar. We should all be that proud. Zane from Pfister died for the city. Remember Zane? Hell, we haven't even had a Zane memorial concert. As mayor, that will be my first act. Also, damn it, we're gonna have a pizza bar in City Hall. I said it earlier, and it is all I can think of now. Imagine that, working to better the city you live in, and you never have to leave City Hall and walk across Hog Street to Pizza Emporium for a peanut butter and car battery slice. That's my Valverde. Make it yours. Vote for Jason Gore. Paid for by Jason Gore for mayor.
Dad, can I listen to
108.9 The Hawk? Hawk? All right, well, you know, we were talking so much about it, we had to play it. That is Collective Soul from the album... Well, I'll just... John Robert, what album was that from?
It was off their 1994 album, Collective Soul Greatest Hits. No, that's correct. It's
actually hints, allegations, and things left unsaid.
No, Wisp, I have to be with, again, critics are gods, and we all know that the number one source for where a song comes from is the Greatest Hits collection.
Well, here's the thing.
So I think he's right here. I think he's right on this one.
No. Here's the thing, Greg. During the break, I talked to my producer, Scotty. He's our only producer, and he got in my head, and he said, Wisp, don't let... Go ahead, Scotty, go ahead and mute him so he can't hear this. Don't let this fucker come on your show and try to change how you do this goddamn radio show.
Scotty, you've
Don't
muted
let this
me.
Piece of shit.
I can hear every word of this.
Yeah, did you?
I'm not muted. This is John Robert. I'm not muted. I'm a published author.
My hearing.
Scotty.
Wow.
Well, he's just shaking his head no.
I deserve respect here, you guys. This is not what I came on the show. I don't know what
sorry. Don't you guys us. I'm showing all the respect. You know, when we were on break, he was sitting here trying to find a way to take you down a notch, and instead, I was checking out your Twitter profile. It is fantastic.
Well, I do apologize, John Robert. That wasn't supposed to be out loud, but
this is an abomination. Greg, I appreciate you sticking up for me, but listen, I'm 2 seconds away from hanging up on you guys. I came here to talk about They Have Become.
And nobody would hear about that wonderful 7 Mary 3.
It is wonderful, Wisp.
I want to hear. Is my mic still on?
Wisp, you read the galley Random House sent to you, right? You've read my book, correct?
What's a galley? Is that a boat?
It's an advanced copy of my book. They sent you an advanced copy of my book a month ago. How
big was the print? I'm an only large print man.
It was an 11-point font, standard 11-point font.
I can't read that.
This is how books are published.
He does have terrible
that's
eyesight.
How books are. Have you ever been to the large print warehouse?
Yes.
It's right over by the John Deacon underpass.
In your town, you have a large print publishing press?
Well, it's a large print publishing press and bookstore. Only one in the world.
Yeah. There's an
large print warehouse.
There. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, the outlet's great. I go over there. I get all my Jimmy Pattersons. I get all my Kuntz.
Oh, my Kusslers. I get a lot of Kusslers in that LPW there.
Oh, I'm literally drowning in Kussler.
Are you friends with any of these authors?
Oh, of course. I knew Kussler very well.
Oh, I'm not talking to you.
I came on this
podcast
to refocus. I came on this to talk about 7M3. I'm here to talk about 7M3. I'm here to talk about my book.
Let's do that, but we're going to do news first.
All the news you can use, or the news you can lose. It's news time on 108.9 The Hawk.
I'll get to that very important 7 Mary 3 news. Probably the first time they've been in the news for a very long time, but we'll get to that here in a second. Big news, Jeff. As you may know, Tickets, big hack over the weekend. Tickets is our tickets outlet, the only way you can get tickets in Valverde. Tickets. And they were hacked over the weekend. The hack is still going on. So they have no way of selling or delivering or re-delivering your tickets until this hack's been resolved. So this is really going to cut into some good old-fashioned fun.
Not good for anyone in Valverde, because Tickets is known as being the premier ticket reselling service, but is also known for collecting more information to buy a ticket than any other company.
God, yes.
So we are really screwed here.
We are doubly screwed because they've got everything on us. Now, whoever did this, I'm going to just guess Russia. Just going to throw it out there. Probably we need to get Willie on here and get what Willie thinks about this.
Let's not get political out here, Wisp.
Love Willie Crystal.
Love Willie Crystal. Fantastic.
I sent him to the Phantom Zone, but if we could ever get him back from the Phantom Zone to talk about this, that one day he'll be back here. So here are the things that it's impacting this weekend. 3 Buck Cherry Lit Dog Pound shows have been canceled.
Oof. That is not good for Buck Cherry Lit or those dogs. They're all going to be put to death. Those poor dogs. Hopefully none of the members of Lit will be put to death either.
It could happen. Could if you're going to euthanize a band.
Yeah. And they are a bad dog pounds. I'm not going to lie.
They are
not
the best. Good. Not good. Don't know why we're raising money for them, but
no.
They are doing that. Also, this could impact the Metallica show at the Enormo Dome next Tuesday. So we're waiting to hear. Lars Ulrich may give us a call and tell us more about that coming up soon. But now we're back here with our guest, our esteemed guest. We're so happy to have him here. John Robert Sass, music critic.
How happy are you to have me here? Because I've been doing a lot of press for this book, and nowhere else am I asked to be on standby while they read the news. I've been on 95.5 KLOS. I've been on 106.7 K-Rock. I've been on 99.1 WPLR. I've been on 105.7 KPNT, and nobody has made me sit and stand by while they read the news.
You know what, Wisp? He's right. John, let's focus on you. Yes, let's focus on that. Let's focus on the book.
So I'm a music critic at AOL.com/music.
How many discs do I have to pop in my machine to get that website to come up?
They're free in the mail. It's 2 discs.
Are you guys still sending those discs?
That's how you get AOL.com. I don't know how you get AOL.com, but I get it via those discs.
I was always a CompuServe man.
I've been getting them. They send them, and they actually, you know what the crazy part is? They put in a chapter from your book in each disc, so I'm kind of reading it Charles Dickens style.
Wow.
Just chapter by chapter. It's
AOL
wonderful.
has serialized my book.
So I'm reading here, the book is called They Have Become. It's the story of Cumbersome by 7 Mary 3. So let me ask you, John Robert, what made you want to dive into such such a rock and roll chapter. I mean, there are things you talk about in rock and roll. You talk about the recording of Sympathy for the Devil.
Yes.
Yeah.
You talk about Led Zeppelin getting together as the New Yardbirds.
Yes.
And then, of course, you always talk about the recording of Cumbersome by Seven Mary 3. What made that so special for you in this case?
Well, now, if you remember when Bruce Springsteen...
Well, it's time for Good Rock Facts.
Come
Greg,
on.
what do you got for us?
You've got to be kidding me.
Good Rock Facts with Jeff the Angry Man Garlock.
Who is
Jeff?
Jeff?
Good rock fact for you here. Buckethead finally took off that bucket. You know what was underneath it?
Another bucket.
Another bucket. A smaller bucket. This one was from
you
Popeyes.
owe me money. Scotty, you owe me money.
Oh, Scotty's shaking his head no. Look at him over there. Hey, Sass, does Buckethead ever show up in your book about Collective Mary 3?
It's 7 Mary 3, 7M3. I'm here. I have some points to make about the song Cumbersome.
Let's do it. Here we go.
Okay, yeah. We can get some... This could go in Good Rock Facts, too.
Oh, it could. Okay.
Look at this. This is a nice carryover. Thanks for doing our job for us.
This man must have been on a lot of radio to be able to figure out how to make this go so well.
Exactly.
That's a seg. That is called a seg in radio.
Good
John
seg,
Robert,
Sass.
you
That's a
are
Sass
good,
seg.
Sass. John Robert Sass is really doing great here.
Can I talk for 2 seconds here about Cumbersome by 7 Mary 3?
Go for it.
So, when Bruce Springsteen inducted Bob Dylan into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he said that opening snare shot on Like a Rolling Stone was like the door to your mind being kicked open. When 7 Mary 3 leads off the song Cumbersome by saying, "She calls me Goliath and I wear the David mask," that opened the floodgates in my brain to so many beautiful visions, to so many thoughts. It was like my world being opened up into a dewy meadow of beauty and radiant sunshine. This is what 7 Mary 3 achieves with the song Cumbersome. It is
this guy is a master of words over
Beautiful.
here.
I have
really
a master of
weaving
fine
a
arts.
tale there.
Yeah, MFA
in Iowa over there. Look at you.
Mighty fucking artiste.
Listen, you don't get to be hired by AOL if you don't know how to write.
You don't.
That
you
is
truly
true.
Don't. I didn't even know they were still hiring people.
I really, truly thought they were just a failed company, but I'm glad they're giving you a gig there. One thing maybe this is a Collective Mary 3 fact.
7 Mary 3.
Yeah, SM3. You don't mention Nirvana once in your book, right?
Not familiar with them at all. Don't know them.
That is interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
I'm just trying to piece together because you are, critics are God. I'm just interested in your take on music because we know our take.
Scotty, critics are gods, right? He's shaking his head.
Shaking
yes.
his head. Look at that. The first time I've gotten a yes out of Scotty.
Boom.
So just to clear this up, you know who Springsteen is. You know who Bob Dylan and Rolling Stones are, but you've never heard of, let's say, Nirvana, Mudhoney.
I've only read about
Mother
Bob
Love
Dylan.
Bone.
I've read.
Yes.
I've read books. I haven't heard them. I've read books. I've read these speeches.
That's basically the same as listening to music, right?
Well, here's something very special.
Reading about albums from critics like yourself, right?
Instead of listening to music, I prefer to read books of criticism about rock.
That's how you understand rock and roll.
Yeah,
I don't like
that
to
is
listen.
how you understand.
Honestly, I don't care for it. I don't listen to music other than post grunge, but I do read about different kinds of music in books. I check them out in my local.
I was
library.
a little shocked by your book there, John Robert. That I'm glad Greg brought up Nirvana.
Jeff.
Sure.
But my favorite 7 Mary 3 song, and this may be a song you've never heard. I'm going to play a little bit of my favorite 7 Mary 3 song, and you tell me why it wasn't in the book.
Okay.
Okay?
Totally unfamiliar with this song.
Interesting.
I don't know it at all.
And here's the singer from 7 Mary 3 starting to sing right here.
That does sound like Jason Ross of 7 Mary 3.
It sounds good, doesn't it?
I'm enjoying this song.
Yeah, it's almost like the sound of 7 Mary 3 maybe took a lot of this sound and then did it later.
You know what I'm realizing, Wes? We're talking to him in the wrong language here.
Okay.
Sass, can I ask you, have you ever read a little book called Come As You Are by Michael
Glassrad? Oh yeah, no, I've read it.
Okay, so that's Nirvana. That's the grunge in your post grunge.
That song we played was Black Hole
Sun. Were you about to say?
I almost said it. No, but that song that we played for you just there was Heart Shaped Box off the album In Utero by Nirvana.
You know what? I also just realized we were making a fun time joke of ribbing each other about Black Hole Sun. This guy doesn't know anything about.
So I'm going to play another Seven Mary 3 song for you. You tell me where they recorded this.
Well,
and you know, I just want to know. You're the Seven Mary 3 expert, John Robert.
I'm the cumbersome expert.
But you know enough from Cumbersome.
Wait, hold on. You only know the song Cumbersome?
That's what my book is about. It's 452 pages on Cumbersome. I'm not really familiar with the other works of.
So you've never even heard this Seven Mary 3 song?
Unlikely, but let's play it.
You never heard the Seven Mary 3 song?
Not ringing a bell. Does sound very grungified, like Seven Mary 3.
No, this is post-grunge. Clearly post-grunge.
Does have all the hallmarks of a post-grunge song.
Here's where the drummer kicks in. The drummer for Seven Mary 3, clearly.
I will say in the song, Jared, the drummer of Seven Mary 3, he's playing tighter and harder.
Tighter and harder.
More compressed, right?
More compressed. That's almost like he's a better drummer.
Here's the interesting part. Yeah, you were about to say, like, I would love to hear what are the hallmarks to you of post-grunge in a world where you seem to not know what grunge is and you only know one song by Seven Mary 3. If you have the Seven Mary 3 greatest hits, you've only listened to one song on that record, but you are a critic. You're a god. You understand. You've read a lot of books. What would be the tenets of post-grunge to you?
The number one tenet is you must sing with a growl. You must sing like you're an angry bear who wants some honey.
Wow. Maybe like a bear going ree-rah over and over again.
Yes, baby. That is tenet number one.
Almost like Between You and Me, Wisp, like Alice in Chains.
Oh.
But he wouldn't know what we're talking about.
I think we're talking about a fucking book.
I mean,
yeah, we ain't talking about Judy Blume here, all right?
The second tenet is that you have to go to Guitar Center, specifically the Pasadena location.
Definitely.
And you have to buy...
The one down in Colorado, love it.
You have to buy an orange Boss DS1 pedal and play your guitar with that.
Perfect sound.
There are some. That is the perfect rock sound.
Yeah.
Here's another
compressed and clean, but light grunge.
Here's another Seven Mary 3 song. This is probably my favorite Seven Mary 3 song. Tell me what this makes you feel, John Robert.
This is heavy. This is heavier than Cumbersome. I didn't think it was possible for 7M3 to be heavier than Cumbersome.
I feel like we could blow this guy's mind. I feel like we need a book on Alice in Chains.
But this is awakening some angst in my soul.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like I'll tell you what this makes me feel, and this is sort of this is my MFA at work. This is a creative turn of words here, but I'd say this song you're playing right now, it makes me feel like I'm a rat in a cage.
Really?
Okay, interesting. You should say this.
Wow.
Interesting. It's like
my brain doesn't work like that because I clearly I don't have an MFA. Neither does Jeff here.
No, you're a poet here.
I'm feeling rage, and I feel like I'm a rat in a cage.
Wow. Oh my God. Well, I love that. You know what else I love? I love traffic.
108.9 The Hawk Traffic with Art Spart.
Well, could things get any worse? Now, 884 is just covered in what looks to be slightly used to barely used. I want to say sex dolls. I bet that's a delivery headed to Rock Dolls. Well, if Keith Talons was planning to make a Rod Stewart in the faces out of those, he's going to have a tough go of it. And the condition they're currently in, with all the tire tracks and road wear, looks more like he'd be getting a G.G. Allen, and that's pretty much it. 922 looks pretty good. 858 still slippery, no idea why. Always slippery, much like Valverde is always cold. And that's traffic. I'm Art Spart on 108.9 The Hawk.
It's time for weather on 108.9 The Hawk.
Well, as we usually know, weather is very cold today. Could be the reason why 858 is so slippery. Could be.
Could be. I mean, could be all the disgustingness coming from the rock dolls.
Oh my God!
Because I'm guessing that was a shipment of the used ones.
I'm guessing that too.
Never good. Again, we told you, no red tech specials down to Rock Dolls. Just, be warned. All right.
Be warned. My God, we're having a great time here on the Wist
Hope
Turlington.
There's no Lane Staley Rock Doll there. Do you know what I'm talking about there, Sass?
No, not at all. Yeah, I don't know who that is. If I could, I'm obviously here to plug my book, They Have Become, the story of Cumbersome by Seven Ray 3.
Obviously.
I'm in the middle of my next. I'm in the middle of my next book right now. I'm halfway through writing it. Are you guys familiar with the 33 1/3 series?
You know what? I've always wanted to read them, but here we go.
Too long.
Smallest print around.
Yeah. Too long, too small. That's what I always say about 33
1/3. Too long, too small. I keep telling Jerry over at Large Print Warehouse, I want to read these 3 3/3 books.
Yes.
And he's like, I just can't do it.
You know what? I've tried to read them, and the print is an issue, but it's like, I'll go in and I'll be like, I want a 33 1/3. I hope this one gives me some good facts. And then it ends up being a weird story about a little boy listening to Slayer for the first time.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, I'll go in for a narrative tale about what it's like to listen to a Mountain Goats record. And then all of a sudden, opposite. Every single time, just back and forth. Facts or a narrative tale.
It's like if I want to read a book about somebody who knows absolutely nothing about Supertramp, I'll read a 33 1/3.
Exactly.
Well,
they hardly even know what end of a century is.
They have no clue.
You're going to be delighted and surprised by the book that I'm working on right now.
Is it about, let me guess.
Yes.
John Barleycorn from Traffic.
No.
Okay, let me guess.
I'll give you 3 guesses. That's one.
Okay, that's the first guess. The second guess is...
The single soundtrack?
The single soundtrack.
Unfamiliar with it. No.
I was really just testing out these theories here.
Okay, so that was our second guess. So I'm going to go third guess.
I'll give you a hint. Let me give you a hint.
Oh, this is fun.
Oh, I love games.
It's a book about the greatest album of all time.
Oh, well, so you're definitely writing about Zuma from my friend Neil Young.
No. You are definitely writing about And Then There Were 3 by Genesis.
Ooh, 2
Are
great
we right
records.
on these?
I'm afraid you're both wrong. The greatest album of all time, which I'm now writing about, is a little album called Razorblade Suitcase by Bush. And if you guys are familiar with Razorblade Suitcase by Bush, these guys in this band Bush, who invented such a unique and original sound, they discovered this producer, unknown, had never made anything worth listening to before, named Steve Albini.
Right.
They find this guy out of nowhere, and they make this album, Razorblade Suitcase, that just blows my mind every time I put it on. It is a masterpiece front to back. Every second of every song, mind-blowing.
Wisp, are you going to blow his mind or what? I mean, this guy.
I'm literally, I'm at a loss. We've already done Nirvana. Go ahead and mute this, Scotty. I got to talk to Jeff. We've done Nirvana. We've done Alice in Chains. We've done Soundgarden. This asshole, this total fucking asshole really feels that Bush.
Scotty.
I'm not on mute. I can hear every word of this.
Original sound.
Wisp. I can hear every word of this.
Yeah.
And also, he's going to say Razorblade Suitcase and not.
Sass, do you hear me?
Was that everything you said?
I can hear Greg.
I've got nothing in my cans. I've got Scotty. There's nothing in my cans. I'm just going to keep talking. This fucking prick thinks that he's going to come on the Wisp and Greg show.
Sass, he can't hear you. He's just going to go on one of his rants right now. I'm sorry about this.
He's going to tell me.
I appreciate
that it's an original sound. Steve Albini.
Yeah. Maybe just start giving us some facts
Suitcase,
about Razorblade Suitcase if you could.
So here's 2 things about Steve Albini.
I mean, the interesting part that I'm noticing
shit out of this guy, and I would enjoy every second of it.
You keep calling it post-grudge, but
he would reach in,
you said
pull
that
his
Bush
fucking throat out.
invented it, so how could it be post
Steve
to
Albini,
something
not a nice guy.
I'm not questioning. Again, I think you're a critic, you're a god, but I'm just saying.
Who am I supposed to be listening to here, Greg?
What's he going to say?
Whatever works at this point. I would say whatever works.
This first time Butch Vig ever did it.
I thought you were going to say about Butch Vig. Now, the interesting part about Butch
Can we get
Vig
Tina
is Butch Vig a producer you're aware of? Is he in that post-grunge?
I can hear now.
Oh, I can hear everything.
Greg,
Here we
what's
are.
going on? We're back.
What is
hey, it's 108.9, the
I'm
Hawk
gonna
Morning
make sure
Show.
Tina, my publicist, is fired for this. This is an atrocity.
I'm going to make sure Tina's fired too. We're getting her on the line.
Making sure Tina's fired too. Scotty, can we
all
get
finally
Tina
agree
fired?
on something?
Yeah, finally.
Hey, since we're talking great things, and that is a great Bush record, probably the best Bush record, I'm very excited for your book. Speaking of Bush, have you ever heard this Bush song? Tell me if you've heard it.
This is not on Razorblade Suitcase, which is to me is the only Bush album I've heard.
But it does have a quiet, loud dynamic.
Yeah, quiet,
there.
loud.
Kind of actually pre. So I guess that's what, pre right there. Yeah, sorry.
And here's where Gavin starts singing.
Yeah.
Sounds unfamiliar. I don't.
Well, I would look into it. It's a great song.
Might want to check out that Bush song. Yeah, how many songs do you know on that Bush record?
Swallowed.
That's pretty much it.
Oh, just that's what I figured. Yeah, so you don't really even know the hits.
Well, Swallowed
Swallowed.
Swallowed is on Bush's greatest hits, and that's where I heard it for the first time.
Oh, did you look in the liner notes and realize that there might be a place that it can? Do you not know what the actual Razorblade Suitcase is? There's a full album. They have other songs,
No. I think it's just Swallowed 12 times on one CD.
Well, you are the rock critic. You do know. You've read a lot of books. That is true.
We do have to take a quick break. We'll come back more with John Robert Sass. Oh, John Robert, please stick around. You going to stick around? We're going to talk about more books, and we'll talk a little bit more about 7 Mary 3. Please tell me you'll stick around. Will you stick around?
Talk to me, yes.
Will you stick around? You stick around?
You going to stick around, John
Tina,
Robert Sass?
I'm going to talk to Tina.
Well, we're going to get Tina, too. Apparently, Paul Simon is calling in the next segment. It's going to be great. We'll have him on here, too. He can talk a little bit about 7 Mary 3.
Guess we get to find out if John Robert Sass knows who Paul Simon is. This is fantastic.
That's going to be great.
We're having fun.
Right now, my favorite 7 Mary 3 song, it's Unsung on 108.9 The Hawk. What do we want? Tickets. Tickets. When do we want them? Now. I'm Rath Montgomery, CEO of Tickets, and I just want to give a quick message to let you know that at Tickets, we are taking this hack seriously. Valverde residents have relied on Tickets since 1973 to provide tickets to all of the events that they want to see. And we will continue to do so as soon as our systems are back up and running. You can see shows like Buck Cherry Lit at the Valverde Dog Pound, Metallica at the Valverde Enormo Dome. We are working around the clock to ensure your tickets are sent directly to you. At Tickets, we're figuring it out. 108.9 The Hawk. Hey, 108.9 The Hawk fans, this is Jason Gore.
And this is Jeff the Angry Man Garlock. Hey, Jason, are you hungry for classic rock?
Always. But you know what I'm really hungry for?
Let me take a wild guess. A 108.9 flavors of ice cream?
That's right, because we may be Valverde's #1 classic rock station, but now we want to be your #1 stop for the tastiest, most rockin' ice cream in all of Valverde.
That is why we are serving up our own brand of classic rock inspired ice cream in the Meatloaf Memorial Ass of the 108.9 The Hawk building with our new 108.9 flavors of ice cream.
That's right. It was going to be 1,089 flavors, but honestly, that is an insane amount of flavors.
A very, very stupid amount. So we went with 108 flavors and a 0.9 flavor as a cherry on top.
Ooh, but it ain't a cherry. That 0.9 flavor, well, it's almost there. It's like 90% good. I mean, I wouldn't order it yet.
But those other 108 flavors of fantastic, yeah, I'll order all of them. And all of them are classic rock themed, like Humble Pie Apple Pie,
Thin Mint Lizzy,
Motorhead's We Are the Rocky Road Crew,
Aero Chip Chocolate. You know, like Aerosmith, but with chip and the chocolate after the name.
Cookies and Cream Mint's Clearwater Revival.
Tangerine Cream Dream.
Steely Dan, parentheses, it's just pistachio.
Richie Blackberry's S'mores Rainbow Sprinkles. That one's clunky, but write it out. It basically works.
That one is also the 0.9 flavor, and we're still working on it. But we got many, many more, like 102 more or so. It's real hard to come up with these flavors.
We are classic rock DJs, not ice cream makers by trade, but we will get there. Trust us. So come on down to 108.9 Flavors of Ice Cream. If we aren't on the air, we will serve you. And just like Kiss said, lick it up. Our ice cream, that is. Lick it up! Lick it up! Ice cream! You want ice cream? Lick it up! Lick it up! Whoa! You got an ice cream!
And 7 Mary 3 with Alive on 108.9 The Hawk from the album 10. Probably my favorite 7 Mary 3 song. Right here
I've always been partial to 7 Mary 3's Jeremy, but...
Oh, it is good.
Yeah.
It is. That is a very good one. I'm glad you brought that up. We're back.
How cumbersome!
Now, cumbersome!
How cumbersome!
We're having a great time here on the 108.9 The Hawk Morning Show with Turlington, Greg the...
Jeff
the...
Angry Man.
Attitude. Garden.
Ugh, so wrong. We're getting there.
Jeff Garlock. I'm just going to say Jeff Garlock. And everybody, if you said, Jeff, if somebody said, who is your favorite rock author? Who are you going to say?
Gotta call the sass. That's what I
You gotta call the sass.
Thank you.
Call the sass. John Robert Sass, music critic for AOL.com. He's written the new book. I have this. Oh, excuse me. I screwed that up. Hope Tina doesn't get angry with us. They have become the story of Cumbersome, 7 Mary 3.
That's right. Thanks for having me on, guys.
No, it's been great having you on. It's been an absolute joy. And I'm sure our listeners have truly enjoyed it as well. They're all driving to work and they're like, this guy, I can't wait to read this fucking book about Razor Blade Suitcase. I know that they're doing, I mean, probably Art, have there been any crashes based on people, the excitement of people getting ready to read this asshole's book?
Well, there may have been something on 824, but I still think that's the acapella group.
Well, okay. Well, there you go. So what else do you got for us, John Robert? Why did you write this book?
I mean, as I was saying, I think 7 Mary 3 is definitely the voice of their generation, the most important band of the 90s.
Easily.
I think, what Pulp Fiction is to cinema, Cumbersome by 7 Mary 3 is to music. It opened new avenues of thinking, new styles of fashion. It changed the way we live.
New ways to suck.
Excuse me, what was that?
He's not showing you the reverence that he probably should. Sorry about that, Seth.
Is the mic still on?
It's all been on this time, Wisp. Please. Speaking of Pulp Fiction, see, I just want to double check. I'm just kind of going off a theme here. That's not your first movie you've watched, right?
Yeah, I was, in 1994. That was my first time at a cinema. Was seeing Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
Wow.
It is a classic. And,
were you blown away by the originality of it, and that it didn't have any other sources?
I'd literally never seen anything like
from?
it. Never seen anything like it in my life, and it's
that was the same way I felt about Psycho when I saw it.
Vince Vaughn was fantastic in Psycho. When I saw Vince Vaughn in Psycho, I thought,
wow.
And Anne Heche in Psycho, wow, that's an amazing, amazing movie. I agree with you. Wow, Wisp, we're on the same page here. Psycho, directed by Gus Van Sant, is one of the greatest films ever made. A hallmark of 90s cinema.
Scotty, I'm just going to go home.
No, Wisp, don't. No, just come on. Stay.
Fire up the Miata. I'm just going to walk out because this piece of shit.
Oh, wow.
I cannot. I mean, has anyone purchased the book, Scotty? He's shaking his head no, so I know you're right. Nobody's bought this fucking book. Nobody's going to buy the next book because
everyone gets in the AOL discs. Why would they buy it? Everyone's getting to read it serialized with those free AOL discs we get.
If you're going to buy a book about Bush, you're going to buy the Everything Zen book. And even then, you're going to be like, why the fuck did I do this?
Why would they write a book called Everything Zen about Bush?
Okay, yeah. You should check it out. I bet you in that one they get into his whole marriage with Gwen Stefani and everything. You know who Gwen is, right? Just wanted to check.
She's on The Voice. I'm familiar with The Voice, yes.
Okay, interesting.
I hate him. I fucking hate him.
I'm almost worried, though, at a certain point. Like, he says that his life started, seemingly around then, based in pop culture, and he is a wordsmith. Don't get me wrong. I'm starting to also feel like we're going to find out he was kicked in the head by a mule right around 94, erased his brain.
I was on the show. I don't remember being kicked in the head by a mule, but in the 90s, I was on the show Hey Dude on Nickelodeon, and I was around many mules.
Okay. You were friends with Donkey Lips, right?
Yes.
Okay, I remember this episode. That was the episode called Donkey Go a Kickin'.
Donkey Go a Kickin'.
Yeah, it was very funny. Danny
I was
Cooksey.
on set for that one.
Yeah. Oh, you were? Were you friends with Danny Cooksey?
I was friends with Danny Cooksey. I was there. Hey Dude was my idea.
Oh, you're the one who created Hey Dude. Wait, did you write the episode where the guest star was kicked in the head by the mule? Oh, okay, good. So we can't blame you.
Any good show runner writes the pilot, and then they fuck off.
Right.
And then they let everyone else take the show.
Let the checks flow in.
Let the checks flow in. You do what you're going to do.
Give yourself a showrunner title and never show up. That's what it's all about. I get that. You got to Rick Rubin it. Like, that is the way you got it. You got to Rubin it. You got to Rubin it, baby. But that's the thing. That's what I'm realizing here. Yeah. I always was like, well, he's a rock critic. I just know his words. His prose, his beautiful language, his amazing rock quizzes he puts up on Twitter all the time. They're very fun to do. But I
John
thought
Robert
that
Sass.
I thought that I recognized John Robert Sass's face. He was a child actor.
I was. Yep. I was on Hey Dude in the 90s, and yes, I was in Donkey Go Kickin'. And wow. I don't, it's interesting. I don't really remember anything before being in that episode. I don't remember being kicked in the head by a donkey, but
You don't remember being a little bitty child?
No, not at all.
It's on Nickelodeon all the time.
Donkey on.
Yeah.
Donkey. Yes. So basically you were born when that donkey kicked you in the head.
Yes. It seems like it. I have no memories before.
We mentioned
you know what his answer to that would be? Yeah.
We mentioned it, and I do have to bring this up, John Robert. You have the best Twitter account. Oh. It's really great. You ask all of these great questions, like who's the best bassist?
It makes you think.
It's a thinking man's Twitter account.
When you respond, make sure to quote tweet my questions.
Oh, you got it. You don't want to do it in the comments because you just want to spread it around. My favorite one, you wrote a question and you said, if you were a car, what would you be?
What did you quote tweet that? What was your answer?
My answer was a 1986 Chevrolet Caprice Classic.
I loved getting that engagement from you. That was,
Yeah, but you had no idea what the car was.
No, never heard of it.
I'd say one of my least liked engagements was he once tweeted out, "Who is your favorite drummer?"
Ooh, that was a good one.
I said Dave Aberbabuzi from Pearl Jam.
Yep.
And the nice part was that you responded and you said, "I don't know who that is." And then everyone else responded to me and you. And it was great because for like one day, half a day, I had like 20 to 30 notifications every single minute. And it felt like I had love in my life for a little while of just people going, "You're dumb. Dave Aberbabuzi left. Dave Aberbabuzi's not in that anymore."
It's like a boat starting.
Kept saying Matt Cameron over and over. Yeah. And then one guy was just doing a video of him starting his boat, and he'd look at the camera and go,
Boozy, and then I'm off on Lake Verde.
But it was fun. I got to have a lot of engagement that I shouldn't have been a part of on Twitter, and it was great. It felt like I was part of a music community.
Phone lines are lighting up. We're going to do a few calls here, but I do want to take 1 second for some poetry, if you don't mind. I've been working on some very good poetry, and I think this is going to touch your heart. Here we go.
Real dick showing contest against the poet we've got here with Sass.
I know. I don't mean to show my dick. I don't mean to show my dick all 23 inches. But we're going to show that dick. And here we go. I like to act it out. I'd like to believe we could reconcile the past, resurrect those bridges with an ancient glance. But my old stone face can't seem to break her down. She remembers the bridges, burns them to the ground. And I have become cumbersome to this world.
Wow.
I have become cumbersome to my girl. Too heavy, too light, too black, too white. Too wrong, too right, too day or night. Cumbersome. Too rich or too poor. She's wanting me less and I'm wanting her more.
Ooh.
A bitter taste is cumbersome. No, yeah. No, yeah. Thank you.
Those words blow me away every time I hear them. You didn't write them. You didn't write them, Wisp.
No, that was me. I just wrote it. It's called Too Heavy, Too Light.
I mean, I don't know who to believe.
Wisp.
I just scrawled that down.
That's the one song I know. That's Cumbersome by Seven Mary.
I just wrote those down.
He does have 477 pages on it. I mean, that is a fair amount. I told you, I've read half of it. He does talk about those lyrics. I'm starting to realize.
Thank you,
on
Greg.
my 50th AOL disc that I got last week.
Well,
Great
I gotta
chapter.
go take a shit. Let's go to the phones. Greg, handle this one.
Hey, you're calling 108.9 The Hawk. I got nothing but sass over here. Who are we talking to?
Oh, hey, everybody. It's Paul Simon. How we doing?
Mr. Paul Simon. Wow.
Heard you had John Robert Sass on there. I know I like reading his books when I'm, rain delay of a Yankees game, and, I'm reading the book.
Paul, it's always nice to meet a fan. I've never heard of you, but thank you. And it's
Well, this guy, he's a kidder. You can tell he's a kidder because he's got that sort of, that humor that runs through his books.
Mr. Simon.
He's just
Mr.
a kidder.
Simon. Hey, Scotty, can we turn off Sass's headphones?
Hey, next
Mr.
time you're in town, John Robert would like to take you to a Yankees game.
Mr. Simon, he doesn't know who you are. He was kicked in the head by a mule.
That's insane.
That's
absolutely, nobody would believe that.
I know, but maybe you could pitch it to Lauren. Are you with Lauren right now?
Lauren is actually out there. He's sitting in his seats. We're getting ready to watch the Yankees play the Blue Devils. And, and Blue Devils is a team I made up. It's the Paul Simon Blue Devils. It's just an exhibition game. It's Art Garfunkel on catcher.
Oh, I've heard he's very, very good.
But I'd really like to talk to John Robert.
Okay, Scotty, can we put his headphones back on?
John Robert, I don't know. I've been looking for somebody to co-write my my new autobiography. It's going to be called Completely Crazy After All These Years. I was hoping that maybe you, because I imagine you know a lot about my career.
Listen, I don't mean to be rude, Paul, but right now I do offer ghostwriting as a service. But right now,
great, because you're my favorite author. I'd love to have you on.
I don't know who you are, and I'm very busy. I'm currently ghostwriting a book for a man named Daniel Johns of Bank called Silverchair. I'm ghostwriting his memoir, and I can't do. I don't know, a person on the radio. I can't.
Oh, you know what? Sorry, I can maybe help this out. Sass, I know. Don't worry, Mr. Simon. Please stop crying into your phone. I can solve this problem.
This is like when Art left.
Oh no, we can make it like Art is coming back.
Art left, and he said,
John Robert Sass.
What is happening?
Have you ever read Live from New York, an oral history of Saturday Night Live?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was screwed. I was hoping. I guess he only reads music biographies.
I only read music biographies. He did mention Lorne Michaels. I'm very familiar with Mr. Michaels' work as a EP on the movie Night at the Roxbury.
Okay.
Wow.
That one came out right after Donkey Goes a Kickin'.
Interesting.
All adds up. Yeah.
Interesting. I'm also very shocked that Paul called in. He didn't talk about his new show on True TV called Diarrhea Slide.
It is really weird.
Really into that. Line 4 looks... Scotty, is this right? We've got Lars Ulrich on the line.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, well, let's go over line 4. You're on 108.9 The Hawk.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Lars Ulrich from Metallica.
Yeah.
How are we doing?
There's my guy.
Hey, so I wanted to write in John Robert Sass.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Lars, I gotta say, it's a true honor to meet you, one of the drummers on my favorite albums of all time, Reload, a post-grunge classic.
I was so happy when you wrote that Amazon Kindle single about it. It was fantastic.
Reload,
it was interesting.
To me, is right behind Razorblade Suitcase as one of the greatest albums of all time. Your work, your drumming on The Memory Remains with Marianne Faithfull singing, breathtaking stuff.
And I appreciate it. I appreciate it because that's what I'm always looking for, is someone who appreciate my drumming.
Yeah.
I just get shit on nonstop.
Let's not bring up Saint Anger, am I right?
Oh, man. It made sense. It made sense. No,
Can I tell you something else I love about the album Reload, post-grunge classic, is the song Unforgiven 2. To release a sequel to a song without releasing part 1
Wait. Okay, well.
Yeah, well, that's it. No, okay.
It's
so,
a
yeah,
sequel,
you're a little
John
confused,
Robert.
man. It's all right. It's all right. It is a sequel. So you thought that we released Unforgiven 2 and Unforgiven 3 without a 1. Interesting. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. This is the way Metallica works. You guys being post-grunge artists.
I always was wondering why I wanted to call in. I was wondering. I was so happy, and we're so bummed our show wasn't really happening at the Valverde Norma Dome. But I was like, I can talk to John Robert Sass. He's one of my favorite writers. I get to talk to him. But you never really mentioned Load. Did you have a problem with Load?
I'm not familiar with Load. I know Reload. Reload is an absolute classic. Fuel? Are you kidding me? Fuel is The Unforgiven 2, Devil's Dance.
This is going great. This is really working out well.
This is wonderful, man. This is really, really great. I wish you would. You know what? If I had a dream world, is that one day I get John Robert Sass to write maybe a book about, I don't know, the Black Album. And Justice for All.
I would love a Kill 'Em All book.
A Kill 'Em All. If we could get him talking about Cliff Burton. Did you like Cliff Burton?
I miss Cliff. Cliff was one of my best friends. I miss him every single... You know this, Lars. You know this.
I know this. I know this.
You know this. Cliff, one of the best bassists to ever live outside of John Entwistle. Rest in peace.
That's why I always answer whenever John Robert Sass puts up on Twitter, who's the best bass player? I always say Cliff Burton.
Cliff Burton.
And then he's always like, I don't know who that is. And then I get just engagement with everyone who's chiming in. It's great, so man. I love talking to the fans. I love talking to the fans.
Oh my God, Lars, thank you for checking in. Thank you so much.
No problem, man. Hope we get our show going back at the Enorma Dome. Tickets, get it together.
I hope so.
Give me my information back, tickets. Oh,
it's
man.
Not looking good. Not looking good, Lars. Not looking good.
Fingers crossed that Metallica comes through on recording Reload. I would love a sequel to Reload.
I mean, that would be for
that. What an absolute fucking piece of shit.
My audio is on. I can hear you wisp.
Fucking believe this guy.
He'd even fake it that time. He's just.
No, I know he can hear me now, and here's what's going on.
That wisp always gets to this point in the show. Don't worry about it, Sass.
What's going on,
Tina, why did you book me on this show?
I didn't book you.
Tina did.
We thought we were getting Stephen Hayden.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Stephen Hayden is? The preeminent rock author.
He is very good.
I'm the preeminent rock author.
He's got a book about, I can't even think. I think he's got one about Radiohead.
Unheralded Bad. More people need to talk about Radiohead, just in depth.
In depth. He's the guy we actually thought. And Tina said, we can't get Stephen. We're going to give you John Robert Sass, our bottom tier rock author.
Hold on now.
I always loved Steve Hayden's book, Never Heard of Noi. Check out Radiohead. It's fantastic.
It's a second book about Radiohead.
Not aware of Krautrock? Check out Radiohead.
The man has written 4 books about Pearl Jam. All named Rearview Mirror, which you're not even going to understand, John Robert, because you're a fucking idiot.
One, I take offense to this. 2, if I can address...
You're an idiot.
The 3 greatest albums of all time.
You're a piece of shit.
Number 1, greatest album of all time, Razorblade Suitcase. Reload by Metallica, number 2. Number 3 greatest album of all time, Pablo Honey by Radiohead. Post-grunge classic, Pablo Honey. Check it out if you haven't heard it. Pablo Honey.
What year did Pablo Honey come out?
95. At least I discovered it in 95. It was in a bargain bin at Music Plus in Boise, Idaho.
Let's go ahead and mute his mic. Let's mute his mic there. Jeff, I think this guy's fucking with us. Pablo Honey came out in 93.
Oh my God, do you think this guy's been fucking with us?
I think this guy's been fucking. I don't think he was ever kicked by a donkey.
Oh my goodness, do you think that
and
was
if he wasn't, I would like to hire a donkey to kick him to death.
Was that just TV magic we saw on Donkey Goes a Kickin'?
It could have been. It's probably CGI. I told him when I wrote the pilot, I said, no CGI. I said, if an animal kicks another human being, I want to see blood. I want to see chunks of brain.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you want to see it on a kid's show. Just chunks of brain everywhere. That's what a Nickelodeon kid show, it's got to be chunks of brain. That is just a fact.
Chunks of brain. And that's what I was hoping with this guy.
So why would he be screwing with us?
Why is he lying to us?
Why would he be lying to us?
I have no idea because his stories are so goddamn boring.
Oh my goodness. Like, he weaves a good tale. He can use...
No, he does not. I mean, I can... If you put a letter on every page, if a letter was that big, I still wouldn't read this piece of shit's book.
I think, you know what? I'm realizing I'm just blown away by his language. He's just using so many words to say nothing.
I use language. I know words.
You do. You do know words.
Armageddon it.
Armageddon.
Hysteria.
Yeah, these are big.
Let's get rocked.
Wow.
Those are all words I know.
That is true. Maybe we should send him down to the donkey and the meatloaf butt of the building.
Oh, my God. If I could shoot anyone out of the meatloaf ass, I would shoot this guy out of the cannon that is right above where we're serving ice cream, folks. If
Scotty,
you see a cannon...
Could we shoot him out the ass of the building?
Scotty's put my mic back on. I got to tell you guys, I don't know where you get off on telling Scotty to turn my mic off but leave my headphones on so I can hear all that. Why wouldn't you tell him to turn off my mic and my headphones? Why would you?
Because I wanted you to hear every single fucking word, because you're a fraud.
Wow.
I'm the preeminent rock critic on AOL.com. We have a team of 50 critics, and I'm the best one.
And you don't remember anything before 94.
It's not worth remembering.
You don't remember. So, you know what came out in 94?
Throwing Copper by Live.
Okay.
A classic album right behind Razorblade Suitcase.
Who killed himself in 1994?
You read about it in Come As You Are.
You know the year.
First of all, I've read Come As You Are, and it doesn't cover anybody killing themselves.
Interesting.
This is true. He's got you. This piece of shit turned it around on you.
I got him, but then he got me.
Just turns it around.
Wow. Nowhere in that book does it cover anybody killing themselves.
Well, I'm an author. I'm an author myself. I'm writing a book called Through the Years, Through the Tears. Better than any of your books, because it's actually factual and it's things people want to hear about.
Can I give you? Nobody wants to read a book in large print. I've read that your book is coming out.
This is an audiobook only, my friend.
Oh, okay.
Audiobook. I imagine your audiobooks are like this.
Like,
there's no sound because it's so fucking boring.
He has got you pegged.
I'll let you know. Greg reads my audiobooks. You may not know this, but Greg has a side career reading books on tape.
You read this piece of shit's books on tape?
Look, I'm not getting paid here.
You've never read a single chapter.
I don't got to do much. I just sit there and use my pipes, but then I just got to pull back and just go. And there you go.
That is easy. That's a good
summary. That's easy money right there.
Here. You're not getting paid here. So
no, Station Manager Ron keeps holding back those checks, so I got to make some money somehow. You know what I'm saying?
You do. My God, what a great time. We have had such a good time with the best, absolute best rock critic I think we could have ever had anywhere. John Robert, please say you'll come back. Please don't say you'll come back. Oh, please just say it out loud so we can all hear.
I would love to come back when hell freezes over. I will never be back on this show. I will never come back on this show.
Hell freezes over. Great
we'll talk to Tina.
Eagles.
We'll get you back here.
We'll talk to Tina because we'll probably ask for someone else. And Tina's like, well, we've got John Robert. And I'm like, well, we're fucked because there goes a whole fucking morning with this guy
but
trying to convince us.
we already wrote up the notes, so we're going to do it with this fucking guy anyways.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to come down to that station. I'm going to smack you over the head with my 452-page book. They have become The Story of Cumbersome by Seven Mary 3. On sale now at Barnes & Noble.
Did you hear anything, Greg? It's almost like we heard his audiobook.
Yeah, dead silent. I can hear me snapping AOL discs over my knee over that.
Hey, before we go, I do want to read a promo. Jeff, this is a big thing for you. You're going to be out at the Break Great Chickenpox Museum this Saturday from 3 until 4. The Break Great Chickenpox Museum. We understand what happened last time. It will never happen again. Why? Because this time they're giving out masks at the front door. If you're a scaredy cat, seriously.
Exactly.
Exactly.
If you're a big old wimpy doo, then put on that mask.
Wimpy doo, like old John Robert here. He's probably
but just like me, you can wear that mask right below your nose. Don't worry about it. It'll cover half of the building. You'll be totally fine, and everyone will be able to tell you, "Oh, I'm wearing a mask." Okay, don't worry.
I got my mask on. I'm John Robert Sass.
Oh, sorry. I don't want to get. But we're gonna have a good time down there. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna be giving out chicken pox if you haven't ever had it. Just make sure you just walk around. You just pull down that mask every time you have to talk into a phone.
And if you get the pox, you get free admission for the whole time you have chicken pox at the Great Chicken Pox Museum. Of course, they're going to educate visitors about the pox and other diseases such as mumps, mums, rubella, samella, grifties, sklorts, leakers, and of course, bumblefinger. That's one that I had bumblefinger once. Never want to have it again.
Great guitarist in Guns N' Roses as well.
The best guitarist, the only guitarist. Bumblefinger was the best. So make sure you wear that mask this weekend. Saturday.
We're going to be bringing those diseases back. It's going to be great.
We're going to bring Bumblefinger back. The only station that can do it, 108.9 The Hawk. More to come, but right now, They're back on the air, 7 Mary 3 on 108.9. The Hawk. And we're here in the regular interview portion.
Scordelis.
Now we're not being assholes.
Oh, we're
real people.
We're all
real people. We're all good friends. You may not know this, listener, but all the three of us started a little Twitter account during the pandemic called Good Rock Facts, where we posted a lot of the dumbest rock jokes we could think of.
We did.
And it kind of kept us sane throughout the pandemic, at least for me. I don't know about you guys.
Happy birthday, Richie Blackmore.
Happy birthday, Richie Blackmore.
Currently fighting Google Doc going. Yeah, it was the Google Doc of jokes.
Yeah, just a Google Doc of just dumb rock jokes. And then 108.9 The Hawk kind of spurned out of that, too. Natural extension. So,
and Scordelis was on some of the first original ideas of it.
Yes,
as a little fun character called Mr. Bitch.
Mr. Bitch, which you would not let us put your name down. You're like, I don't want people to know I'm Mr. Bitch, but they're gonna know now.
I don't want to take credit.
So Mr. Bitch is a real human being. Right.
No. I was Mr. Bitch.
You were Mr. Bitch. And now you're here. You've been so busy writing and doing things we haven't been able to have you on. And then you text us and you're like, hey, guys, I can come on and hang out and it'll be fun. And we're like, fuck yeah, we'd love to have you on. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you, Scordelis.
What are you working on these days? What's going on?
Well, got a few things in the hopper. Well, I can't say.
You've got the razor blade suitcase book.
33 and a third book coming out soon.
Have you ever pitched a 33 and a third?
I have, because they do it like open submissions.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yes.
They do like an open submission thing once a year, and I got to the finals. They like posted it, but then didn't get it.
What was yours?
Yeah.
You could probably guess. You could
I'm going to say it was Neil Young Decade.
No, not Neil. It's grunge.
Oh, Mudhoney.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah.
I pitched Superfuzz Big Muff.
Of course.
Oh, my God.
And
yes.
But yeah, that was probably...
Was it going to be full of facts, or was it going to be a young boy's coming-of-age story and that I would get it and be like, Scordelis, give me more facts?
Probably a young boy coming of age.
Perfect. It really is. Sometimes I'll pick those up and I'm like, God damn it. I just want to know how it worked.
I went at a record store and I saw a piece of cake for the very first time. And then I thought, what came before this?
Oh, no, I definitely now... Okay, I probably pitched it like 10 years ago. I remember my opening chapter was I saw Mudhoney play in 1998 for the first time, so 10 years after.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nobody was at the show. Maybe like less than 200 people were at the show. And I was playing foosball with my friends at the club before the show, and Matt Lucan of Mudhoney walked by, watched us play for a couple seconds, then he grabbed a bunch of napkins and stuck them in the goals. And he was like, unlimited play, and walked away.
Wow.
And I didn't know that's how you can play unlimited play on foosball. Just cram napkins in the goals, and you can play as much as you want, not have to
Gotta
pay.
talk to touring musicians for that, kind of insight.
Yeah.
That would have been the crux of your story.
Yes.
And I was like, and then I learned what true friendship meant.
Chapter 1 of my Mudhoney book was Mudhoney teaching me how to steal foosball games for free.
That was when Tomorrow Hit Today came out. Were they touring on Tomorrow Hit Today?
Yeah, Tomorrow Hit Today, which is one of my favorite albums by them.
Me too.
There's a book about Mudhoney. I'm blanking on the title. I think it's by Keith Cameron. I am footnoted.
It's called My Brother the Cow.
I'm footnoted, not to brag. I'm footnoted in that book, but
but not to brag.
A little bit of brag. Not to brag. Little bit of brag.
But I think in that book they dropped the fact. I think Tomorrow Hit Today sold 2,000 copies.
That's it. Oh my God.
That's like a Panthers record. Fantastic. Me and Mudhoney.
You guys pulling up the same numbers.
Yeah.
Same numbers. So you got stuff in the hopper. What's in the hopper? Is there anything? Well, the first thing we should talk about is the one thing that you texted us about so much as you were going through the process, and that is the November Rain article that you wrote for Vice on the cake guy.
We watched it birth.
Along the ride with me, texting.
One of the best rides ever.
Thought it was a joke ride at first.
Yeah.
And then it became reality quick, which was great.
Everybody thought it was a joke at first, and then I was like, no, I'm going to do this for real, and it happened. And yeah, so the thing that's in the hoppers, I'll text you guys about on side, but I'm working on a follow-up. I think I mentioned, but I don't want to tease it.
Sure.
Okay, don't tease it until,
It's going to drop probably in mid-May. So look online.
Let me
for it in
guess.
mid-May.
Let me guess.
Yeah.
You are writing an article about the guy who made the motorcycle piano seat for Axel.
You are absolutely correct.
Oh, you were dead on. I was going to say, what is Janie spelling out in Janie Got a Gun when she breaks the room?
Cumbersome.
Yes, that's what it always was. Like cumbersome, but 4 letters. Yeah.
Not to derail this, but I'm reading the Steven Tyler biography right now. Have you guys ever read that?
Scarves, lots of scarves?
Scarves, and more scarves.
Yeah.
It's one of the craziest rock bios I've ever read. It's all over the place. It's like I'm inside his... It's like you're inside his brain.
Crazier than the dirt?
The title of the book is What Is That Noise Inside My Head?
What is that? I know, but it's truly like you strap in and it is a ride. I've never read... I haven't read a rock bio like this since I read David Lee Roth's Crazy from the Heat.
From the Heat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy from the Heat, I remember reading in that David Lee Roth had a guy after shows pour Pellegrino on his feet.
For what reason? Just like for healing?
Just to show off?
Like, after shows, like let his feet chill out. It had to be Pellegrino, and a guy had to like soak his feet in Pellegrino.
The whole time the guy is like, it doesn't have to be Pellegrino.
And this isn't Pellegrino. This is just
is not
flat water.
This is polar. Shipping it in from the Northeast.
If you were given carte blanche to write a rock book, what would it be about?
Oh my God, to write a rock book.
Great question.
You have access to everybody.
Yeah, it would. I mean, obviously, I have a Neil Young cover band, Cinnamon Boys. Got to plug them.
I got to plug the boys.
So I would want to write about Neil, but the book Shaky by Jimmy McDonough is one of the greatest books of all time. And so I don't think you could top Shaky. Instead of plugging myself, I could just talk about Shaky all day.
Yeah, I know. It's hard, but I don't think like Neil would ever even give that access to another author.
Right.
No. And Shaky is amazing because the writer like argues with Neil about his own career. Yeah. And like and will tell Neil when he thinks Neil sucks.
Exactly. He's so honest. He's like, this is a crap record. You're making a crap record.
Yeah.
I do wish that he would re-release Shaky with like an update on Neil's 2000 to 2022 output.
Yeah, because it ends late 90s. I remember, he rags on Neil so hard for recording with Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
I remember he calls Pearl Jam, I think, like a flat-footed Jethro Tull without the flute.
Fun description.
Yeah, it is.
And I was like, nailed it. And it's like, yeah, why would you record with them over Crazy Horse? And he calls him out, and Neil doesn't have an answer for it.
So you would do Neil Young. So let's say Neil's off the table. Who else would you do? Pearl Jam?
Oh man, this is probably somebody who like I'm not a fan of. I think it's like more fun to write about something.
Ben Folds 5.
Power Man 5000. Got it.
Five Finger Death Punch.
Definitely. FFDP
with 5 in it. That's a great question. I don't know, man. Somebody probably that we were talking before about Scott. Probably like write a ska book. Oh, there is a ska book right now in defense of ska.
Yeah.
I know. I love it growing
Mr.
up.
T experience.
You got it. Yeah.
There you go.
Jeff got it before I could say it.
I think that's the ultimate Scordelis.
Yeah, I love the Mr. T experience. Is probably my favorite band of all time.
Really?
I've seen them more than 30 times.
Oh my God.
Because I grew up in the Bay Area and they would play all the time. There's my absolute favorite band. And yeah, I probably read Mr. T Experience.
I'd read it. Read it in a heartbeat.
Oh, I'd read it.
Please, forget about it.
Well, Alex, thank you so much for coming on. Any plugs? Anything you want to plug here? Because we have so many listeners that love dumb rock stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Cinnamon Boys, my band. Follow us on Instagram. The Cinnamon Boys, and we'll probably be playing shows in May. So,
and you'll be back here very soon.
Oh my God, yes, I can't wait.
Hang out with us because we got to bring John Robert back.
That was fun.
I'm really disappointed that Paul Simon didn't talk about the diarrhea slide. I was hoping that would happen.
Some people forgot that was something we talked about earlier in the episodes. Welcome to Good Improv.
Well. That's what we do here on 108.9 The Hawk, the best improv
is
around.
All about forgetting the key details because you're trying to add more details. Right. That is what improv is all about.
Yeah, because the one thing that 108.9 The Hawk needs is more
details. We want that Bible as big as a book about cumbersome.
It's 472 pages.
My God.
Well, hey, thank you again. If you're listening 108.9 The Hawk, thank you. Tell your friends. Go on Apple Podcasts, write a review. It really helps us out. We're doing this dumb podcast for free. We don't have ads except for Sharnies.
Let's throw out a couple quick reviews they could do. All you gotta do is write in one sentence. Richie Blackmore loves it. Great.
5 stars.
Eric Clapton stinks. 108.9 The Hawk is the best. Great. 5 stars. If you're going below 5, get out of here.
Yeah,
what are you wasting your time on the internet for?
You are wasting your time.
You're already wasting your time on the internet.
And my time.
And my time. And Jason's
Greg's time.
Oh, my goodness. It's infiltrated the real world.
You can check us out at 1089thehawk.com. You can sign up for our newsletter there, find out stuff, going on with 108.9 The Hawk. Biggest thing, just tell your friends. Just tell your friends to enjoy it. We're coming towards the end of season 1, and then season 2 will start pretty quickly after that. You're not going to have to wait very long, but you will have time to keep spreading the word and get people listening to all of the episodes we have here of 108.9 The Hawk. And we'll see you next time.
Peace.